Travis Wayne Goodsell. Okay, now it's time for the daily morning news of yesterday from ABC4 News Utah. But first, you guys all need to understand, Trump caused this in America. He allowed it in, and he's purposely murdering Americans as he neglects us. He does all sorts of talk, but he's neglecting us. Doctors are not getting to where they need to go. Beds are not opening up. Medical equipment not being provided. The respirators and masks not being provided. Testing not being provided. Except for, he called his old buddy Putin, and Putin's sending us some stuff. But he's wanting to do us a favor, though, if we'll do him a favor, though. I reported that yesterday. He's purposely murdering us. He's cut off Obamacare. Nobody can apply for Obamacare now. Now that you've been fired from your job, today we're getting the new report for last week's unemployment numbers. The first week it was 3 million. It's going to be bigger today. Bigger. Then we have next week, as we had those, did I throw that one away? Or do I have it here? Yeah, I have it here. Florida, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Nevada. All of them shut down. So the stores got shut down this week. That means next week numbers for unemployment. I think Florida is waiting until Friday so that people won't be applying for unemployment until next week, which means the week after that, those numbers will come in. We're just going to have week upon week upon week of high unemployment numbers. We are already skyrocketing on unemployment. We are in a crisis, and our president has abandoned us and is purposely murdering us, as he calls himself a wartime president. What war? World War III? Oh, the one where the Illuminati is destroying the earth? That one? He's a wartime president, and he's murdering Americans? So which side is he on again? Oh yeah, Putin's side, and the seal of Russia is the Scottish Rites 33rd degree two-headed eagle, and they were taken over by the Illuminati, and Joseph Smith and his father and family, and were all the ones responsible for helping William Morgan escape, and thus causing the anti-Mason movement, which destroyed the Scottish Rites temples as well as the York Rites temples. But they saved America during that time in 1826, thus gave rise to the Book of Mormon to finish the job of William Morgan. Yeah. So that's the background you need to understand. We have Pence, who's evangelical, but not the gay evangelical of Buttigieg. Pence is the one who failed as Indiana governor to stop the spread of HIV in his state and purposely escalated it. Why? Because as an evangelical Christian, he hates the gays. So he was punishing them by escalating the problem. And so what is he doing now? He's been put in charge of coronavirus. I'm seeing a pattern here. He hates Americans because he wants Jesus to come. And so he's fulfilling biblical prophecy in conjunction with the other three horsemen of the apocalypse, Trump being the black horseman, which is a practical joke that Putin is using, but nonetheless, Trump is willing to do anything for Putin. And so, yeah. It starts in China, then you have that South Korean evangelical group going to the epicenter of where it happens in China. And then they then fly their members all around the world to spread the virus. And you got to understand, Italy is not reporting the deaths of those who have not been tested. The numbers in Italy are 3 times higher than they should be. Because one particular city was reporting over 100, about 150 deaths to coronavirus. But those were only those who had been tested. There were over 500 deaths in that one town in Italy. And so that shows you how people are not giving an accurate counting because they're not getting a full testing done. So here in America, Trump refuses to test. He's holding back the testing kits and having the states fight it out amongst themselves as to who's going to get the contracts. Again, we're in a crisis. There should be no buying or selling. Everybody should be getting what they need. But they're refusing. They want to continue the economy during the crisis. You just can't do it. It will not work. And so, let me check John Hopkins for the actual number of... I'm already here. Because we're doing a news. John... And so Utah isn't even on John Hopkins anymore. Utah is refusing to give the numbers up now. They have their own site. They're going to post their own numbers. So they're refusing to cooperate with John Hopkins and provide the information. Yeah, we're almost at 1 million in the world. 1 million. Still a long ways from World War II death numbers, as we're only at almost 50,000 deaths. But like I said, those numbers are low. These are only for those who have been tested. And they've confirmed about 1 million. We had 7 billion people on the planet. And so we're way short of the testing needed. And so if you times it by 3, if we follow Italy's pattern, and America's for that matter, we're looking at 150 deaths, 150,000 deaths, 3 million confirmed cases that just haven't been reported because they haven't been tested. That's how bad it is. So the U.S. at 216,722 at last count, times that by 3. So we're over 600,000 who have coronavirus, but just haven't been tested. And so our deaths, people are dying, but is it related to coronavirus? You know, if we're not reporting, we don't know. We've got over 5,000 now, so 15,000 deaths. And so the total recovered, again, we don't know because we're not testing everybody. So there are those who have been tested or haven't been tested who have recovered, and then there are those who have died as well. So you've got to times everything by 3 at least. This is going up exponentially. So eventually the numbers aren't going to be times 3. It'll be times 5, times 6, 10. And so the final number that we're given will not be accurate. We will have far less of a population of the world when we're all said and done. 75 million is World War II numbers. So, The ABC4 News Utah continued the drone diaries. I told you about the Thanksgiving point where Orrin Porter Rockwell had his brothel. And then we had the one meteorologist talking about how she was scared about the earthquake. Apparently there was a car accident where a 15-year-old was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. And that's a disturbing thing because the hospitals should be getting filled up with coronavirus, but the one guy from the University of Utah was being interviewed, giving the no-duh, Captain Obvious answers that Utahns refuse to accept from the real news sources. Fake news. And so they wanted their own specialist to tell them what was already known. And he said, Utah is behind the rest of the United States. That we're only at the beginning. It's going to get worse in Utah. And so that's something exciting to look forward to. They also did drone diaries for West Jordan High School and Granger High School. So they covered the high schools this time around. And they again confirmed Mormons are panicking and buying guns. Because, screw the law of consecration. The church closed. If the church isn't going to help us, we need to help ourselves. And that's the dilemma. Nelson, a medical doctor, closed the church, is not opening up the bishop's storehouses. They claim that they're collecting money for a rainy day. The rainy day is here. It is pouring, flooding. And he's closed the church. Oh, it's flooding. We got to close. Well, you've got hundreds of billions and even trillions of dollars and you're closing? You're not buying the necessary stuff that we need to survive? Are you kidding? This is the Church of Jesus Christ? Are you kidding? Exactly. That's the church for you. By their fruits ye shall know them. And Mormons don't like me when I talk about it. But I told you today, I will make you a deal. I will stop posting these videos about how horrible and evil and corrupt and the church is if the church complies to my request for relief in the lawsuit against them that was supposed to have been resolved on the 31st of March, but coronavirus saved them. So, hey, you want me out of Utah? You want me to leave the church alone? Give me my money. And I will turn it into a charity, a real charity. What the church was supposed to be doing. Alright, so yeah, Mormons are buying guns. I thought it was those Democrats and Obama who were taking your guns. Why are you rushing on guns now? This is a Republican president. You have a Republican governor. What's wrong? And so I was joking. I mean, they put it on here before, but yesterday I was joking about Plexiderm. Talking about fake news. They're doing advertisements, and they put a Plexiderm commercial up here. Oh my hell. Are you kidding me? I am warning you, do not buy Plexiderm. Don't fall for it. They're flooding the TV commercials with them, with the commercials for them. Don't do it. Every guy who does weights knows this. If you do weights, you have to do it consistently for the rest of your life. If you stop doing weights for a period of time, your muscles go saggy. And it takes more to build them back up again. This is what Plexiderm is doing for your skin. And what it is if you've got the bags under your eyes and wrinkles, you just put the cream thing on the wrinkles and it tightens the skin. And so it makes your face look younger. Except there's a drawback. You have to keep using it day after day because the skin relaxes after a while. Evaporates, disappears, whatever, and so you have to use it again. And again, and again, and again. And so your skin is going through this repeated tightening, contracting, and loosening over and over and over again. It's making your face worse. Because if you get started into it, you have to continue for the rest of your life paying them for the product. Because once you stop, because they go out of business, or because it's unavailable to buy, or because you ran out of money in this crisis that we're in, you're going to have droopy face for the rest of your life. You're going to be worse than had you never touched it in the first place. Stay away from the product. All right, and so students at the University, or USU, Southern Utah, or Utah State University, I guess is what it is. They're still there. Now, I can understand if I were back in my college days at Rick's and coronavirus struck, I would say, hell no, I'm not going home to you. I'm staying right here in Rexburg. So I can understand, Mormon parents, Nazis. I can understand the kids not wanting to go back to their parents, despite the school being closed. But it's a petri dish for coronavirus now. And then Amazon, even here in Utah, they're punishing their employees, saying that they need a doctor's note to confirm that they have coronavirus before they can skip work. And so, yeah. And then we have concerns following Idaho earthquake. Yes, I didn't bother to talk about it yesterday. Sorry, MD. As I replied to you in my email, or response on YouTube, it's no big deal. And sure enough, they have their reporter. So, we've got this earthquakeologist. I don't know what they're called. Meteorologist? No. Geologist. Volcanologist? Can't remember what he was called. But anyway, they were asking him, should we be concerned? Is this any way related to the Magna earthquake that we had here in Utah? No. 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 That's what I was saying yesterday. No. Had nothing to do with the Magna earthquake. Had nothing to do with the sign in the heaven that I talked about for the 31st. The 31st sign was about the lawsuit. I was purposely leaving out the answer because we needed to wait for that day to find out for sure. But no, it had everything to do with the lawsuit with the sign in the heaven. Nothing to do with the Idaho earthquake. So no, has nothing to do with the last days Armageddon. No. And so, now that again, ABC4 News Utah is neglecting to tie everything together to what led us to this point. But the homeless have no place to go. They can't stay home. The streets are their home. And so, yeah, what do? Nothing. Because Utah won't do anything with them. They don't care about the homeless. They want them dead. And if you've been following my videos as to that whole process, you'd understand where ABC4 News Utah is neglecting to inform us about that whole process. And so, does social distancing work? Yes. Duh. If you stay away from people with the virus, you're not going to get it. But they're not. Nobody, the government, the church, and businesses, nobody is thinking, if we tell everybody to stay home, businesses are going to close, people aren't going to be employed, they're not going to get paid, they're not going to be able to buy food and toiletries and sanitation and cleaning and hygiene. My God, they're purposely murdering us. This is an extermination event, guys, and we're only in the beginning. And it's going to escalate exponentially, like I said. My hell. And there's a marijuana dispensary opening in Logan. And I guess because it's considered medical, they're getting away with it. But alcohol sales are on the rise as well. So, there you go. Oh, excuse me. Let me see if the unemployment numbers are out. It's after 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Unemployment numbers. 10 months? Come on. So that's last week. U.S. sees worst unemployment numbers in over 50 years. It's going to be worse today for last week. 2 weeks, 1 week. Come on, guys. When does it come out? 1 minute. Here we go. Latest unemployment claim numbers double already record highs set last week. CBS 46 Atlanta. Okay. That seems to be the earliest one. 1 minute. Let's see if we can get the numbers.
Good morning, I'm Gravir Denzel. This is your hourly CBS 46 coronavirus update. We're going to begin with breaking news on new unemployment numbers that were just released. We've learned now that more than 6.6 million Americans
doubled. Sure enough, that's what they were saying. Numbers double. 6.6 million. So now it's 9.9 million for the 2 weeks. 9.9. Wow. So that raises the unemployment percentage. If you've not seen anybody do a chart for unemployment since before the Great Depression, it's all pretty much down at the lower end, and then all of a sudden we get to 3.3 million that we had last week, and now it's 6.6 million, and next week, like I said, it's going to be even worse, and the week after that is going to be worse. I mean, we're looking at a complete and utter collapse. America has been destroyed. Our Congress and Senate installed Trump as king by not having him impeached, and we are paying the price for it. So, I mean, this is bad, guys. We are being exterminated. You can be a Trump loyalist, you can be a Mormon lover who thinks that God's protecting you. Because remember, wait a minute, didn't Nelson hold a fast last Sunday? Wasn't that supposed to magically turn this all around? Like our smiles? If by chance you meet a frown, do not let it stay? Yeah, it was all a fraud, guys. You've been played as chumps. That's why I'm an LDS critic. I'm warning you of them. They're destroying us. They're destroying our nation. They're destroying our economy. They're killing off our people, our family, our friends, everyone. We're being destroyed. And we're only at the beginning still. We're not tapering off. Trump is purposely making sure that it continues to escalate. We're at war from our own leaders in government, in the church, in business. Businesses demand to be paid during this crisis. Government refusing to stop it, to provide the necessary equipment and tools for this. And religion refusing to give charity. That's what they had the welfare square for. That's why they had the bishop storehouses, so that they could give charity during this Great Depression. Because that's what we are. Our unemployment numbers are higher than the Great Depression, and they're going to get higher and higher still, as the percentage will even out to when the Great Depression was, because there weren't as many Americans back then. So the percentage is going to be different. But this is bad news, guys. Somebody's knocking at my door, so I'll end here.